Welcome back, traders, to my market outlook on index futures for the week of October 26th. So we're looking at the daily chart for ES. Now, the week before last, we're consolidating between this daily fair value gap and some of these old daily fair value gaps and kind of just consolidating. So I told you that it was going to be pretty much 50-50, but I did favor the buy side because going down to a 1 hour chart, there was some consolidation here and equal highs, not to mention all-time highs. So there was a big pool of buy side liquidity up here that price would want to reach for. So last week, Friday, we did get that, taking out the all-time high and digging into that pool of liquidity. So taking a look at last week, I did mention to keep an eye on this daily fair value gap, and I was also keeping an eye out on 50% of this lower daily wick. On Monday, you can see we touched that and then we rallied above and closed above this daily fair value gap. So this told me that the buy side liquidity is going to be the weekly objective. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday, we did get a little bit of indecisiveness and we did come back down, touching 50% of that wick once again. But look at the bodies right here. The bodies of the candles are pretty much staying in the upper half of this daily fair value gap. And then, of course, Friday, we did reach for new all-time highs. Unfortunately, it happened during pre-market session, at least for Nasdaq it did. But since the weekly objective was hit, I knew it was time to basically just sit on my hands and not really do anything. So now that we've hit all-time highs, what to do? Well, we've learned in the past that when you're at all-time highs, you want to maintain a bullish bias. However, it can be difficult to trade because you don't really know what targets to aim for. There's not going to be any data to the left of the chart. So what do? Of course, we have to do a projection. So when I take a projection from this low back to the old all-time high, you can see that going up here, we have a negative 0.5 standard deviation projection all the way up here. But I thought that was a little far, so I went ahead and did a negative 2.5 projection as well. So this could be the next likely target that we look for, close to 6,880. And since we've already used this daily fair value gap for inversion, right? We traded above it and then we came and used it as support. I don't really want to see price go below this daily fair value gap anymore. Ideally, we create another update, creating another daily fair value gap, and then we dig into this fair value gap to launch us for the projected target of 6,880. So that's all just kind of speculative in the future, but this is going to be the new target that I will look for to the upside. Of course, you know, anything could happen. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. We could get another big drop like this, but since we've had it pretty recently, I think we want to go up some more before trying to take all the sell side liquidity. So I'm still going to be looking for this projected target going into next week. All right, so moving on to Nasdaq, I had the same outlook on Nasdaq as I did with S&P. You know, right here with this consolidation, I said I'm feeling pretty much 50-50. But I do favor the buy side because on the 1 hour chart, of course, consolidation and relative equal highs. Monday, we get a rally above this daily fair value gap and we close above here. So again, I knew that this was going to be the target going into this week. It's just that Tuesday and Wednesday, we did go back down into this volume imbalance. You can see that there's no bodies here on the candle. So we went down into this volume imbalance. We actually went down just shy of 50% of this wick, but we did dig back into this old daily fair value gap. It was a reclaimed fair value gap. You can see that the bodies are not closing within here. They're only staying in this fair value gap. And then of course, Thursday we rally, and Friday pre-market, we did get a new all-time high. So once that I saw that happen pre-market, I was pretty much done. I did not really want to trade that Friday. So anyways, going into this week, what can we look for? Again, new all-time highs. We want to have a bullish bias, but we don't know what targets to go for. So of course, I did a projection from this low to this high, and we have, you can see here, a negative 2.5 standard deviation here at 25,703. So this is going to be the next target I aim for. We do have a negative 0.5 standard deviations. Of course, that is pretty big at the moment, so maybe it will eventually get up there, but my next low hanging fruit target is going to be this negative 2.5 standard deviation around 25,700. All right, so that'll do it for this week. The higher time frame objective has been met, and when that happens, we always go into a period of wait and see. What is price going to do now that we've taken buy sell liquidity? Are we going to be reversing? Are we going to just be retracing, or are we just going to continue the expansion to the upside? So I think we need to give this a couple more days to give us a little bit more clues on what price wants to do, but we do have a target on the upside should it remain bullish. And of course, if we have downside targets, I've went over that in the past, but I'll bring it back up if it does look like that we're going to be reversing throughout this month. So anyways, that's going to do it. Please give this video a like and subscribe for more analysis like this. And until next time, guys, safe trading.